faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, J in the Bay. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with the faithful, with the Niner Empire, some of the best fans in the NFL. We will be talking about the 49ers and Bengals tonight. I do have a special guest on with me, and he is a Bengals fanatic, Bengals YouTuber. Let's welcome in Bengals Report 18. What's good? How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good.
Hey, can I call you Justin?
Yeah.
Cool. And my name is Justin as well. So we've got something in common, as
Yes.
well as our teams playing this Sunday. So man, it's going to be a great matchup this Sunday. There's a lot of young talent on both sides of the ball. But first, let's start off with, how long have you been a Bengals fan?
Since 2010.
2010. All right. What first attracted you to the Bengals? Because honestly, I don't know too many Bengals fans.
Yeah. We're pretty rare. But it was Chad Johnson.
Mm.
I saw him play and I was just like, even though that was his last year on the Bengals, he still was doing some damage. So
Yeah, there's no doubt. Chad
Yeah.
Johnson, he's Chad Ochocinco. Chad Johnson, he's definitely one of the best wide receivers to ever play for the Cincinnati Bengals. That's for sure. So yeah, I remember him well.
Yeah, I feel like he should be in the Hall of Fame in my opinion. I feel like he has a lot of Bengals records, and yeah, he definitely attracted me to the team. And then you had AJ Green, and that's kind of when it started to go off.
Yeah, I would say his jersey probably should be retired for the Bengals.
Yeah, it should be.
At the bare minimum.
Yeah, I heard T. Higgins, he's switching his jersey number because he wants to respect Chad Johnson's. So he won't be wearing 85 next year.
Okay, all right. And Justin, for those that don't know, you go by Bengals Report 18. You do have a YouTube channel and Twitter. All the links to your social media are in the description of this video. So all you Bengals fans out there, make sure you subscribe to Justin's YouTube channel and also check him out on Twitter as well. So why did you decide to start a YouTube channel?
Oh, I started a YouTube channel for fun, so I could talk with others about football. So mainly about fun. Yeah.
How long have you had it?
About 5 years, I'd say.
Nice. And for those that don't know, me and Bengals Report 18, we met off of Mr. Business Suits YouTube channel. So shout out to you, Mr. Business Suits. He is a Chiefs fan, so I know he's been on a roller coaster so far this year with him and his Chiefs. But shout out to everyone who's watching J in the Bay Facebook, J in the Bay YouTube, and also J in the Bay Twitter. This show is nothing without, I call, the MVPs that are in the chat. They make this show and live stream a lot more fun. So let's say what's up to the people in the comments section. What's good? We got Andre with the first comment. He says, "What's good? My wounds from Sunday have finally healed. I'm ready to hear some positive news about my second love, the 49ers. We need to get up in these playoffs. No more excuses for last games." I agree, man. It's we're on to the Cincinnati Bengals. What's done is in the past. We just have to continue to get better. And speaking of the Bengals, you guys are coming off of a loss against the Chargers at home. We're coming off of a loss against Seattle in Seattle. So a brief synopsis. What happened in that game? Why did the Chargers beat the Bengals?
Oh my. Yeah, so first of all, we had a terrible start to the game. We got down 24 points.
Wow.
And it's I don't know, we have this bad tendency to sometimes we choose a certain Sunday that we're like, let's get 5 turnovers on offense. So we had all those turnovers, and it's we rallied back into the game, 22 straight points. And then we're on the Chargers 35, and then it's Joe Mixon, he fumbles, and it's a touchdown. And after that, you could just feel in the stadium, we were finished. We ended up losing I think 41-22. Yeah, Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, I can definitely feel your pain. Last week against Seattle, we had a lead at halftime, 23-21, and we didn't score any points in the
Oh,
second half. And of course, Seattle won that game, but we also turned the ball over 3 times in that game. So turnovers have been an issue for both teams. So it'll be interesting to see who wins the turnover battle, because I like to think that that has a major factor in deciding who wins or who loses in a game. So it'll be interesting to see, because I know Burrow has thrown some interceptions. He's got 14
yeah.
interceptions on the season. Jimmy G, he's got double-figure interceptions as well. So it'll be interesting to see what it gives. Now the Bengals. Let's get to some positive news. The Bengals, they are 7-5, and in your opinion, what are 3 reasons that this team is vying for a playoff spot?
All right, so like my first reason is Zach Taylor, our head coach, leader of the team. He's definitely made a lot of changes compared to his first 2 seasons. I'm liking what he's doing with the team. I feel like he gave this team like a confidence. So I feel like I see that in a lot of the players he brought to the team, especially like the help of the ownership. We got a lot of new guys. Trey Hendrickson, just bringing in guys like that is that's what's helping us. I feel like it started with the coach, and obviously Joe Burrow. Won the championship with LSU, got drafted first overall by the Cincinnati Bengals, had that horrific injury last year, and I'm liking what he's doing. Off of that knee injury, he's looking pretty good, and I have a feeling he'll look even better next year. I'm giving him time because of that knee injury, but I think Joe Burrow's a big part too. And I said the Cincinnati Bengals defense, like we spent $220 million on that defense, and it's like no surprise, it's paying off. We got a top 5 run defense. The pass defense could be better, but I'm not complaining right now. I'm liking where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the young quarterback, Joe Burrow. He's already thrown for over 3,000 yards. He's got upwards of 20 touchdown passes. He's completing about 68% of his passes. And the future is bright, very bright for the Bengals. You got a young wide receiving core. You got the running back. You got tight ends. And you mentioned the defense. You guys ranked top 5 in sacks. I think Henderson leads the team with 11 sacks on the year. So, he had an excellent year with the Saints. I believe that was last year. And then he signed the big free agent deal with the Bengals. And as you said, man, it's paying off. So that's going to be an intriguing matchup, because Hubbard, he has 7.5 sacks. So you got Hubbard and Henderson on that defensive line. That's going to be an intriguing matchup against our offensive line, because outside of Trent Williams, the best left tackle in the NFL, everywhere else there could be room for opportunities for the Bengals defensive line. So Jimmy G, he works best when he has a clean pocket, and I think we'll definitely need to do that against your Bengals on Sunday if we want to, have a victory. That's for sure. Redder, what's good? Redder is a Steelers fan. I know he is hotter than fish grease right now because the Vikings are beating the brakes off them good old Steelers. So, man, hopefully your Steelers, man, put up a fight in the rest of the second half, man.
Hey, that's similar to what happened against the Bengals. Yep.
Yeah, man, especially, on national TV. This is the only game that's on, so it's it's kind of an embarrassing performance right now. The Vikings are, running on all cylinders. I gotta say, what's good to David? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Hopefully you're having a great Thursday night. David says we got a tough game coming up. Yeah, there's no doubt with the talent on both sides of the ball for the Bengals. I think this could be a very close game. There are injuries, though, on both sides of, on both teams. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Kimbo, what's good? Kimbo says, let's go 49ers fans for life, man. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Crazy Juice, what's good? Thanks for tuning in. And this is Jay in the Bay, not John J. Crazy Juice. But thanks for tuning in to the stream. Now I just spoke about the injury reports. I'm going to put that up on the big screen so we both can see it, and also the viewers can see it. And if you haven't checked out Bengals Report 18, make sure you check him out on YouTube, Twitter. All his social media links are in the description of this video. Make sure you check him out. But this is the practice report. We're going to start with the Bengals first, then we're going to go to the Niners practice report. But as we see, we have a few players who have not practiced yet. We got the corner, we got 2 running backs, defensive tackle, and a linebacker. Are you concerned about these players possibly not suiting up Sunday? And we're talking first about the DNPs, the players who did not practice today, Thursday.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like Logan Wilson, it sucks what happened. He hurt his shoulder, and he's like our best linebacker. So we already lost him. He might come back later, but he definitely won't play this game. Woozier, I hope he gets better because he's probably our best corner. Chris Evans, I'm guessing he might not play. He was doubtful last Sunday. Backup running back. Hey, if we lose Joe Mixon, that's probably not good because P. Rhymes will be down to our 3rd running back.
Wow.
And then I haven't seen Tyler this year. He hasn't got to play, honestly.
And P. Ryan, he's a different type of running back. He's like a big, like bowling ball type of running back. He's not like a speed back like Joe Mixon is, right?
Oh yeah, he's not. So like Joe Mixon can make cuts. I'd say P. Ryan's he's just gonna run straight up the field.
Run straight up there. Okay. And I would assume the Joe Mixon illness, it's not COVID because they would have mentioned that. They wouldn't just say illness and it'd be COVID. I have a feeling if he had COVID, then he would be out. So that it could just be flu-like symptoms or whatever. And hopefully for the Cincinnati Bengals and their fans, Mixon will be able to suit up and play for you guys. As far as the limited participation in practice, I saw the play where Joe Burrow kind of hurt his finger last week against the Chargers. Are there any concerns? Is there a possibility he won't play, or it's he's pretty much going to play? What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, 100% Joe Burrow's going to play. He'll be all right.
Okay, and I do see wide receiver T. Higgins. Was he limited in last week's game due to the ankle injury?
Yeah, I'm thinking he re-injured the ankle that past game because I think he had an ankle injury earlier this year. So I think he must have just hurt it again.
Okay. And as we go to the Niners injury report, so did not practice today. Trenton Cannon, he's been used more as a kick returner. He's not. He hasn't really gotten in on any offensive snaps. Linebacker Dre Greenlaw, I would be surprised if he played. He re-aggravated that groin injury. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and he had surgery on it this year. But I would be surprised if he plays. Maurice Hurst, same thing. I don't think he'll play. Now, running back Elijah Mitchell. I don't know if you heard about Elijah Mitchell, but he's one of the best rookie running backs in the NFL. He's already got over 600 yards rushing. He's just been nicked up this year, and his availability has come into question. He's got the concussion that he suffered last week against the Seattle. So we'll see. If Mitchell doesn't practice tomorrow, I would be surprised if he plays. Emmanuel Mosley, their cornerback, our best cornerback, he won't play. And Deebo Samuel, man, I know you heard about Deebo.
Oh yeah,
one of the best receivers in the NFL. Unfortunately, he suffered a groin injury. Not against Seattle, it was the week before. I think it was against Minnesota. And we'll see. But if Deebo doesn't practice, honestly, I don't want him to play. Just to be real, I don't want him to re-aggravate that groin injury, and then he'll be out multiple weeks.
Yeah.
And for the full participation, hopefully Fred Warner comes back. He missed last week's game due to the hamstring injury, and also Marcel Harris missed last week as well due to a concussion. So, hopefully from that group, Elijah Mitchell, hopefully he can practice because he is our best running back. And honestly, if he's not there, it's definitely going to leave a void in the running back room. Without Elijah Mitchell, we pretty much have JaMychal Hasty, who's like a third or fourth string running back. And then also we just signed a running back, Brian Hill, this week. So we're going to need Elijah Mitchell. That's for sure.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, I am concerned. But like as you know, this game is all about attrition and, who's healthy is and who can put their best players on the field. That's what it comes down to. Let's talk about who will be, in your opinion, the offensive MVP for the game on Sunday.
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is going to be the MVP.
Okay.
I have a good feeling Joe Burrow will be the MVP because I have a feeling that the 49ers are going to, well, if Mixon doesn't play, our run game probably won't be that great. But if he does play, I feel like San Francisco is going to limit our run game. So then Joe Burrow is going to have to step up and make some plays. I definitely see him. I'd say like Joe Burrow probably will count for 2 touchdowns at least. Yeah, that's my MVP.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt Joe Burrow, he's having an excellent year. He does have double-digit INTs. I know he and the Bengals coaching staff and fans want that number to, be in the single digits. But, yeah, there's no doubt Joe Burrow, he's having an excellent year. He's got a lot of weapons to throw to. Our secondary is banged up. Jason Verrett, he was our best corner at the beginning of the year. He tore his ACL the first game. Emmanuel Mosley, he's out. He was our next best corner. He'll be out for a few weeks due to, I believe, a high ankle sprain. And, our starters, Josh Norman, Dante Johnson, they're going to have to go with, probably the best wide receiving core in the AFC, if not in the AFL. Just you talk about the young talent there. Man, it could be a long day for the 49ers if we can't get pressure on Burrow. And I think that's going to be a key matchup. If we can't get home to Burrow, he's going to eat up our secondary. There's no mistake about it. Nick Bosa, he's having as good a season as Hendrickson. He's got double-digit sacks. He's going to need the ball out, in this game. Who is your starting left tackle?
Jonah Williams.
Jonah Williams, and how's he doing this year? And what do you think about his matchup versus one of the best edge rushers in the NFL?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a hard matchup because I remember I'm an Ohio State fan, so I remember the Bosa brothers. Those guys almost you can't block them really.
Yeah,
it's evident in their sack numbers. Jonah Williams, he's like a solid this year. I wouldn't say he's amazing. Like definitely Bosa's probably gonna push him back in the pocket, so Joe Burrow's probably gonna have to scramble someplace because I definitely see Bosa creating some problems on the left side.
And I think that's our biggest strength on Sunday is going to be the defensive line. I'm not saying the Bengals offensive line is weak, but I know they've given up some sacks on Burrow. So they can't. I think Burrow got sacked 4 times against the Chargers last week. This offensive line will give up some sacks, but I think that's our. I hate to say it, but that's our only chance because you got Josh Norman going up against T. Higgins or Jamar Chase or Tyler Boyd. I mean, that's a mismatch, man. I mean, it just is.
The Bengals O-line last week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the main issue was this, right? We had Trey Hill, so usually Trey Hopkins is our starter. So then I guess he was hurt, and then Trey Hill, rookie from Georgia. Oh. He didn't have a good day. He had 3 holding calls. And I think we're getting Riley Reif back. So it's not saying that they're going to make a difference, but I feel like maybe Joe Burrow gets more time. Just maybe. Yeah.
No, I agree. And it'll be an intriguing matchup. I think on both sides of the ball, Jimmy, he's thrown double INTs. He plays best when he has a clean pocket to throw from. When he gets pressured, it's funny. When he gets pressured, I saw some stats today. When he gets pressured, he's actually a better quarterback or something like that. But I still want to see a clean pocket for Jimmy. He got sacked multiple times last week. He actually got sacked for a safety last Sunday against Seattle, and it's going to be imperative that we, create a clean pocket for Jimmy and also open up holes in this running game. And that's going to be difficult to do it would be best, like Crazy Juice says, if we have Elijah Mitchell, because this Bengals run defense is top 5.
Yeah.
I believe they're allowing under 100 rushing yards a game. Last week against the Chargers, Eckler, one of the better running backs in the league with the Chargers, I don't think he had over 60 yards rushing. So this Bengals run D is no joke, and we're going to need Elijah Mitchell. If he can't go, man, it could be Jimmy G or bust. Because if he can't go and Debo can't go, those are our 2 best offensive weapons. And as David says, Josh, P.I., Norman, and Dante can't cover Johnson. We need to get to Burrow fast. Completely agree, D. Completely agree. Now, you made a herd of this man. He is one of the best tight ends in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Last week, he had 2 touchdown catches, about 180 receiving yards. Who's going to match up with George Kittle?
Oh, my. I feel like I don't know if I'd put Jesse Bates on him because Jesse Bates hasn't really been playing as good as he did last year. I'd say maybe Mike Hilton, but then again, I don't know. Mike Hilton's 5'9", so that's just like a nightmare waiting to happen, especially on a jump ball in the end zone. So I'd assume Awuzie. I would say I'd give him a chance to guard Kittle, in my opinion, especially if Debo doesn't play.
Yeah,
I can see the Bengals definitely scheming differently against George Kittle.
So what it sounds like you're saying is George Kittle's going to have an excellent day on Sunday.
Yeah, he should. He should.
I think George Kittle, he's going to have to be the best playmaker. I don't think Debo's going to play. It doesn't look like Elijah Mitchell's going to play. So so Kittle's going to have another excellent game. Same like he had last week against Seattle. Don't forget about Brandon the Ayuk show. Brandon Ayuk. He had 3 catches, 60 yards last week against Seattle. He's another player to watch out for. But yeah, and hopefully Jimmy can improve on what he did from last week, because 2 interceptions is not going to get it done against Cincinnati. That's not going to get it done. I don't think we can win this game if we lose the turnover battle.
Yes, the turnover battle. I feel like that will decide the game.
Absolutely. That will be a huge factor. Bird Gang 31. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Hopefully you're having an excellent Thursday night. Let's see. I'll say this. I'll give you my offensive MVP for the 49ers. I think the easy answer is to say Kittle. But since I just spoke of him, I'm going to say this offensive line. Trent Williams has been one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL. But as a whole, this offensive line will have to play much better than it did against Seattle. We're going up against a top 5 run defense. That's going to be a problem. We're going up against Henderson, who leads the Bengals in sacks with 11.5. Hubbard has 7.5 sacks. So not only can they stop the run, they can get after the quarterback. Yes. So this offensive line is going to have to impose their will at the point of attack. And if the offensive line can be the MVP of the game, I think we could win this game for sure. But that's who my offensive MVP for the 49ers I think will have to be on Sunday. It's going to have to be this offensive line.
I agree, because you got to win in the trenches.
Right.
That's how you win.
Absolutely. Now let's go to the other side of the ball. Who do you think will have the most impact for the Bengals on defense this Sunday?
Who did I say? Let me see. Oh yeah, I mixed it up here. I said Sam Hubbard. So instead of going with Trey, I went with Sam Hubbard, because Sam Hubbard, he's our best run stopper. And I have a good feeling that he's gonna have to play well if we want to win this game. So Sam Hubbard definitely is gonna have to get around the edge, break up some run plays, maybe make some pressure. I feel like he'll be our defensive MVP.
All right. Well, I definitely have to keep my eyes on Hubbard. So does he line up on the offense's right side or left side?
Right side.
Right side. Okay, so he's going to be going up against Tom Compton, and Hendrickson will be going up against Trent Williams. So that's going to be an intriguing matchup, because Trent Williams has been balling out, and Henderson himself has been balling out. So that's going to be a great matchup to watch. I know offensive line and defensive line play, not a lot of people look at that, but if Henderson has his way or if Hubbard has their way, they can make Jimmy's job a lot more difficult.
And there's one more guy you got to watch out for. DJ Reader, defensive tackle. Like, so who's your like guard? Probably gonna.
We've got Lincoln Tomlinson on the left side. We've got Alex Mack at center, and then right guard we got Brunskill.
Yeah, DJ Reader, that guy's a force to be reckoned with.
Does he usually line up on? You guys run a 4-3, right? 4 down lineman.
Yeah.
So does he on? Well, I guess he can alternate. I guess it doesn't really matter which side as a tackle. He can alternate. But Brunskill, he's struggled in past protection, and he's on the right side. So, we'll see. That's going to be something to watch out for, because I know the numbers suggest that Jimmy is great when he gets blitzed, but when the defensive line, when the front four are able to get to Jimmy, I feel like he struggles. So
yeah, I mean, like if Jimmy G had DJ Reader coming in his face, I guess like he just like I understand that. When they say pressure, do you think it's just like the defensive end coming on the edge or like a safety blitz? That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, for that specific stat with Jimmy, I think when he's blitzed, so when it's not just the front four, when it could be an extra linebacker coming in or a safety or a corner, but when it's just a front four coming in, I feel like Jimmy G struggles. And, we saw that last week against Seattle, and we've seen that in other instances. But shout out and a what's good to Blue True. Appreciate that $10 donation to the J Bengals YouTube channel. Blue True says, "Go Niners, hey Jay, and Bengals Report 18." Thanks for coming through, Blue True. David says, "I don't think there's a linebacker in the league that can cover Kittle. He's a beast." Hey, I completely agree. NYCE says, "What's up, Jay? What's good?" He says, "I feel our struggle for the Niners is our special teams. We need this special teams unit to step up big." Yeah, you're not lying about that. Robbie Gold last week missed the extra point. Travis Benjamin on a kickoff return, he fumbled. And we also gave up, I don't know if you saw it, a fake.
Oh, yeah, I saw that
fake punt. Yeah, we gave up that. So our special teams definitely needs to pick up their game. I completely agree with you, NYCE.
Same here. Our special teams was not the best last Sunday.
What did they not execute last Sunday, your special teams?
I feel like, honestly, the first play of the game kind of like showed how that game was going to go. We allowed them to get to midfield on their first kick return. So
they had great field position.
And then we had terrible field position every drive. We kept getting pinned on the 10 and the 5. So we got to do better in that department.
And special teams, a lot of people don't talk about it, but it is a crucial part of a team, because field position is very key, as you just mentioned. Getting the ball at midfield as compared to getting it on the 20 or the 25, that is a huge difference. Huge difference. As far as defensive MVP for the 49ers on Sunday, I think it's going to have to be our defensive line. If Joe Burrow is able to sit back there, look to the right and look to the left and have plenty of time in the pocket, he's going to eat this secondary up. And the defensive line, if they're able to get pressure, it makes the secondary's job easier. They won't have to cover for as long as time if the defensive line can get to Joe Burrow. I would suggest, and I think we will see the Bengals get blitzed, but then you leave your corners on an island. So I don't know if that's a good idea either with, second, third, fourth string cornerbacks who are starting. So I think this defensive line is going to have to pressure Burrow, bring him down, and disrupt his rhythm. I think that's what's going to be the entire defensive line. Let's see. Let's continue with the comments. Crazy Juice says, "Our special teams better not play like they did against the Seahawks." Hey, I completely agree, man. Completely agree. David says, "Special teams has cost 2, maybe 3 games this year." Yeah, no, I agree. Alejandro, what's good? Alejandro says, "What's up, Jay? Is the new on-player injuries for the 49ers?" I'm not sure what you mean, but if you're talking about players who practiced today, the most important names, Debo didn't practice, Elijah Mitchell didn't practice on offense, Fred Warner practiced on defense. And obviously those are, three of the top players going into this Sunday. So hopefully we can have more players available than not. But thanks for tuning in to the stream. Crazy Juice says, any news on Debo? Will he be back for this game? Unfortunately, Debo has not practiced all week. I would be surprised if he played. I just don't see him not practicing at all, but just showing up on game day. And I don't want to see a hobbled Debo Samuel. I don't know how you guys feel, Faithful, but if he's hobbled, he won't be obviously 100%, and he could re-aggravate that groin injury, and we don't need to see Debo out for multiple weeks because this is crunch time. This is the last month of the season. We're going to need all, the best players we can have, for this playoff run. But great question, though. As a Bengals fan, which 49ers offensive player are you most concerned about as a Bengals fan?
See, I would say Debo, but I guess we're not certain if he's going to play. So then next guy would be George Kittle. Because I definitely see George Kittle he'll definitely do some damage. If we give Jimmy G time, he'll find George Kittle, and he'll probably run over our corners. So we need to apply pressure, honestly. Pressure is I guess for both teams, right? Pressure is the key because you got to knock these quarterbacks off their rhythm.
Absolutely.
It's very important. We both have a lot of explosive receivers out there, so we definitely got to be safe.
No, absolutely. And for those that are in the stream now, I appreciate if you hit the thumbs up button. Let me and Bengals Report 18 know that you guys are enjoying the stream. We appreciate it. And on our side, from a 49er fan perspective, I would have to say it's Jamar Chase. I believe he's your leading receiver as far as receiving yards and catches. And he's having an excellent rookie year. And honestly, I'm not confident in our corners right now with Emmanuel Mosley being out. You got Josh Norman starting, Dante Johnson. I'm not real confident with our corners, and I think I'm most afraid of Jamar Chase. He's having an excellent rookie season, and there's a reason why you guys drafted him 5th overall in this past year's draft. So hopefully, D'Amico has a game plan for him. But if you double Jamar, then you got Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. So I don't know if that's a good idea either. So it's a good problem for the Bengals.
Honestly, pass rush is the only thing that could disrupt that. Honestly, you guys got to pressure Burrow, or else Jamar Chase will get open.
Yeah, it's going to be very imperative for Nick Bosa to have another, maybe a multi-sack game. Arden Key, those are the two players on the edge. Also, Samson's on the edge. In the middle, you got DJ Jones, Eric Armstead. The defensive line is going to have to play, one of their best games. There's, no mistake about it. Looks like NYCE is offering his opinion on who is the most feared offensive weapon on Cincinnati. NYCE says he would say Joe Mixon is the Bengal we will have to stop. If we could slow him down, it will be big. Now, I agree. And the 49ers run defense, I would say for the first maybe 5 to 6 games was putrid. It was just terrible. It was below average. But over the last month, we've won 3 out of the last 4 games. We've done a pretty good job in slowing down the opposing team's most productive running back. And we're going to have our hands full with Joe Mixon because he is an excellent running back. Joe Mixon did not practice today due to an illness. So that will be something to monitor. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays, but that is something just to monitor. It's not COVID, but it just says that he has an illness. So we'll see how that injury plays out. But yeah, if Joe Mixon can play, he's going to be a playmaker, and he's definitely going to be a person we have to stop, a player we'll have to stop. That's for sure.
Because Joe Mixon, he gets better over the course of the game. So those 4-yard runs, they can turn into 16 pretty quick.
Wow. Yeah, that'll be an interesting matchup because we've done a pretty good job the last month, and his run defense will continue to be tested. Absolutely. Let's see. Which 49ers defensive player are you most concerned about as a Bengals fan?
I'm concerned about the Buckeye, Nick Bosa. I'm really concerned because I know that all it really takes is if he gets past Jonah and just swipes the ball out of Burrow's hand, it's there's 6 points right there. Like you really got to watch out for Bosa. He's a game breaker. I wouldn't be surprised if he had multiple sacks this game. Like, I definitely would not be surprised. Like, we really got to watch out for him. Very important to keep our eye on Bosa. Maybe we got. I don't know. Does he ever line up on either side, or does he usually stay on one side?
Usually he lines up on the offense's left side. So I think it will be a Jonah Williams matchup versus Bosa. I have seen him line up on the right side of the offensive line, but it's sparingly. It may be a handful of snaps, but normally he lines up on the offense's left side.
Yeah.
Bosa's having an excellent year. Unfortunately, last year he tore his ACL. He missed, I believe, 14 games last year, and he's having a hell of.
You guys have like so many injuries that year.
Yeah, man. He was one of the many players last year who got hurt, but he's having an excellent year. I think he's definitely in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, and hopefully he continues with this pace. If he continues with this pace, he should easily have about 16, 17 sacks this season. And there's no doubt when Bosa gets to the quarterback, he's a game wrecker, and he can change. He can change the offensive's approach. That's for sure. From a 49er fan perspective, the Bengals defensive player I'm most concerned about. I think I'm going to keep it in the trenches. I would say Hendrickson, but he's going to be lining up against Trent Williams, and I think Trent Williams is whoever he lines up against. I think he's in a favorable matchup. But Henderson, he could prove me wrong on Sunday, but I'm more concerned about Hubbard on the other side because Tom Compton, I think he's good in spurts. Like if you need him for 15, 20 plays in a game, I think he could be solid for you, but not starting over multiple games. He gave up a safety sack last Sunday against the Seahawks. Hubbard, he's having a hell of a year, 7.5 sacks. And I think Compton will have his work cut out for him. So I'm concerned about Hubbard coming on, the right side and going up against Tom Compton because he's a below average. He shouldn't be starting. The only reason he's starting is because our starting right tackle, Mike McGlinchey, got hurt a few weeks back, and McGlinchey's out for the rest of the year. So that's why Tom Compton's in there. But hoping for the best, but I think Jimmy's going to have to really get rid of that ball fast. Especially with Hubbard on the other side. I wanted to talk about, we mentioned before, the Bengals run defense is top 5, and the 49ers run offense, when we have Elijah Mitchell, he is he's a great running, he's a pretty good running back. He is a difference maker. I believe there's a stat when he runs for over 100 yards, the 49ers have won like 4 out of 6 games or 5 out of 6 games, something like that. So it's a strength versus strength. Have you guys, I'm putting you on the spot, but have you guys allowed a 100-yard rusher this season?
We might have. I feel like, yes, we might have, but I feel like most of the games we've controlled the run. Like most of the games we've won, it was like if we stopped the run game, generally we'd win that game.
Yeah. And we love to run the ball on the early downs. I think the most important down in football is third down. And, what makes that down more easy to convert is winning on the first and second downs, getting positive yards. And without Elijah Mitchell, without Trey Sermon, Jeff Wilson Jr. should be back. I believe he was a full participant in practice today. So he actually might be the starter. So we could see Jeff Wilson Jr., Jermichael Hasty. Say it again.
Well, what happened to Trey?
Trey Sermon, so he got hurt, I believe it was against Seattle. He had, or it might have been Minnesota, but it was on a kickoff return, and he had a sprained ankle, high ankle sprain. He's now on injured reserve, so he has to miss the next 3 games. But honestly, before that, I know Trey Sermon was our 3rd round pick, but he wasn't the starter. And it seemed like Shanahan favored pretty much any other running back other than Sermon, honestly. I don't know if he's just not a scheme fit or what it is, but Sherman hasn't really gotten that many opportunities in the offense. He's played offensive snaps, I would say, in like 3 games this year. So he's been used very, very sparingly. And that's disappointing because
he's a great running back.
He was a great running back at Ohio State, but for whatever reason, I don't know if he's not a fit in Shanahan's system, but why would you draft him? If he's not a fit, why would you draft him? So it's perplexing. It's been very disappointing to not see him get more of an opportunity. But all respect to Mitchell, he's been balling out, but I think you would have a great 1-2 punch with Mitchell and Sermon, but it's clear that there are other running backs who are ahead of him. So we'll see. Looks like we have a comment. Let's see. David says Compton will need help or Hubbard will own him. I agree. And that's the thing. We need Kittle to be great. We need Kittle to be the best playmaker on the field on Sunday. But if he has to help out in blocking against Herbert, that's going to affect his production. And that's one less target, one less receiver for Jimmy G. So Compton's going to have to hold his own, or maybe Charlie Warner can block on that side. But we need Kittle to, he needs to be the best playmaker on the field, or Ayuk, one of the two. But great point, though, David. Let's see. So it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Who wins on Sunday in Cincinnati, Ohio? 2 teams vying for a playoff spot. The Bengals are second in their division with a 7-5 record. The Niners, I believe, we are third with a 6-6 record. So, and both teams have lost their last game that they've played. So, what gives and who wins, in your opinion, and why on Sunday?
Well, I'm going to be biased. I'll say I think the Cincinnati Bengals will win by a score of 24-20. I definitely think that the injuries for both teams are going to play a factor. I guess we'll have to see till kickoff, like who's not going to play. But I do think those will be a factor. I honestly think this will be a close game. Like, I'm almost certain about that. I don't think any of our teams are going to win by a bunch of points. This is going to come down to the wire. It's going to be between Joe Burrow and Jimmy G. Like, who's going to make more plays to get the win? So
what about a score?
The score?
Predicted score, yeah.
Oh, 24-20.
24-20 Bengals. Okay, well, I agree with you that injuries will play a huge part. Debo is obviously – Debo and Elijah Mitchell are 2 of our best offensive weapons, and with them not being in there will definitely affect the offense. It's funny because last week against Seattle, we didn't have either player, but the offense was pretty good in the first half except for Jimmy G's turnovers. But other than that, we put up 23 points against Seattle. Now, there's no doubt Cincinnati's defense is much better than Seattle. Yeah. There's no doubt. But if Mitch and Debo can't play, other guys will have to step up. And it'll be interesting to see if we can establish the running game, because obviously that's what we love to do, is run the ball, win the time of possession, control the game, and convert on a lot of third downs. And last week we struggled. We're only 3 of 10 in converting third downs. That's got to improve this week. But this is going to be a tough game. My heart wants to say the Niners. My mind is saying other things because of the injuries, but I'm going to stick with the Niners. And I think our best shot at winning is getting to Burrow and making him throw interceptions. Jimmy's going to have to do the exact opposite of what he did last week. No turnovers. And also we had 10 penalties last week, which definitely hurt us, against Seattle. So it's going to be a back to basics game for the Niners. Don't beat ourselves with turnovers and penalties. Win at the point of attack. And Jimmy's got to be damn near perfect. I think that's what, if we do those things, I can see the 49ers winning 31-27. That's what I got. So, but I'm looking forward to the game. It's going to be very, very exciting. NYCE is giving us his prediction for the game. He's got the Niners winning 35-21. Okay. All right.
That'd be painful as a Bengals fan.
Alejandro says a Trenton Cannon update. So he is not practicing Trenton Cannon. Unfortunately, Trenton Cannon, he suffered a concussion in last week's game against Seattle. He actually had to go to the hospital. So he's doing better that now he's back in the Bay Area, but he most likely will not play on Sunday. But in Trenton Cannon, he's more of a special teams guy, but I don't expect him to play on Sunday. Crazy Juice is giving us his prediction for the game. He's got the Niners winning 24, Bengals 21. Okay. All right. I like that. Now, this is a question I've been asking a lot of my guests about, the Mount Rushmore of players in the franchise. And in your opinion, who are your, 4 top players who have played for the Bengals in the last 2 decades? You can give me 4 players in the last 2 decades, and then give me 4 players, in the entire franchise's history. What's your opinion?
So I got AJ Green.
Okay.
AJ Green, definitely. I feel like he's another guy who's probably going to make the Hall of Fame. He got 7 straight Pro Bowls.
That's incredible.
Dominant receiver. And we all know, like, back in 2013, 2015, he was like a top 3 wide receiver. So
yeah.
He's definitely on my list for sure.
Okay.
And we also, like, I can't disrespect the Red Rifle. I mean, he did take a time, so I respect the Red Rifle. And who else? Gino Atkins. Yes, Gino Atkins.
Okay.
Another great player for the Bengals. I think he'll probably make the Hall of Fame too. I was looking at it. 8-time Pro Bowler, 2 All-Pro. He's on the Hall of Fame team for 2010s.
Wow.
Permanent defensive tackle.
Okay.
If it wasn't for Aaron Donald, I don't know. We'd probably be talking about Gino. Honestly.
Okay.
And then Carlos Dunlap, another defensive end for the Bengals. Him and Gino were honestly a great duo. They were dominant. They helped get that defense to the playoffs. So definitely. Those would be my players for the 2010s.
Okay. What about players of the entire organization? Or is it the same list?
Oh, I got some more players.
Okay.
So we got Ken Riley, obviously, like, rest in peace, passed away a while back. But he was a defensive back for the Bengals. He had 65 interceptions in his career. Like,
you said 65?
Yeah, 65.
Wow.
He's not in the Hall of Fame. And that's just like, that's mind blowing. Like,
that's crazy.
We're talking like that's top 5 numbers for interceptions. Like Ken Riley, definitely that'd be a Hall of Fame player. And then you got another Ken Anderson.
Okay.
Quarterback. I feel like he was another great player. Took the Bengals to a Super Bowl. Got an MVP. He got comeback player of the year. Yeah, another guy with great accolades. That's another great Bengal. And then another guy I have is Corey Dillon. I think he was just an amazing running back. He used to have that single rushing game record. He had 280 in a game.
Wow.
Got broken. It's amazing.
Man, that's crazy.
One more guy I would say is let me see. Carl Pickens.
Carl Pickens, okay.
Wide receiver in the 1990s. I just think he was awesome. He was like a basketball player on a football field. He would jump up and get the 50-50 ball.
Okay. Great receiver. All right, that's a good list. Chad Ochocinco don't make your list.
No, that's as much as I want him to put him on there, there's some other guys that need to.
He's an honorable mention.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when you look at this Cincinnati Bengals team, obviously Andy Dalton, he's the best quarterback that the team has had. Or, I mean, I guess you could say Carson Palmer, right? I mean, I don't know. Did either one of those quarterbacks, Carson Palmer or Andy Dalton, did they win a playoff game?
No, they didn't.
And that's been the biggest issue with the Bengals. Marvin Lewis, a great head coach. He has a great level of consistency, but just could never win a playoff game. And you guys had several home playoff games, but just couldn't get it done. You guys had talent on both sides of the ball. But other than that, though, yeah, that's a great list. of the great players, in the Cincinnati Bengals franchise, man. There's no doubt about that. I gotta say, what's good to JV? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Livy's World, what's good? Thanks for tuning in. JV says, just got here. I have a question for Bengals Report 18. Who's your all-time favorite Bengal? Hey, great question.
Ooh, that's hard. That's like a hard question to ask. If it's only one player,
Yeah,
I'm going with AJ Green. AJ Green, he's the guy I watched. Like amazing receiver. Definitely.
Yeah.
Just they called him the Raven Killer for a reason. So.
Yeah, there's no doubt. When AJ Green was healthy, he was no doubt top 3 wide receiver. Whenever he lined up, it's unfortunate he had those foot injuries that kind of derailed his career with Cincinnati. He's doing pretty well with the Arizona Cardinals. Unfortunately, we've already seen him in 2 games this year, but yeah, he's looking pretty good with Arizona. But yeah, man, he's definitely one of the best wide receivers to have done it for sure. Luke Luna, I appreciate that $2 donation to the channel, man. Luke Luna says he's got the Niners winning 34-21. Hashtag stay faithful. Much love, Jay, to you and yours. Hey, man, same to you, man. I appreciate you for tuning in to the stream. JR Meadows, what's good? JR Meadows says Niner gang, man. 24/7, 365. You know what it is, man. Seahawks Eddie, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. He says, what's up, Jay in the Bay? And I welcome all fans to the Jay in the Bay YouTube channel. Doesn't matter who you like. You can enjoy the Jay in the Bay live shows, especially if you're a fan of the NFC West, because we play each other 2 times a year. So thanks for tuning in, Seahawks Eddie. Edward, what's good? Appreciate you for coming through to the stream, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully your Thursday night is going well, man. But for those that haven't checked out Bengals Report 18, make sure you check him out on YouTube, Twitter. All his social media links are in the description of this video. Go ahead, check him out. JR Meadows says Corey Dillon is his favorite Bengal player. All right. Yeah, Corey Dillon, he had some fine years with the Bengals, man. There's no doubt about that. But for those people who haven't heard of you, Bengals Report 18, what can they expect from your YouTube channel, now and in the future?
All right, so what I've been up to on my channel is like I've been doing live streams about essentially I just do like NFL pick'ems. So that's what I've been up to. Just picking games, having fun, all the good stuff.
Cool. All right. And do you do live streams during Bengals games?
Nah, I've never tried that. It seemed that would be something cool to do though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, obviously people can stay tuned to you for Bengals news and things like that. I'm wishing health for the Bengals players this Sunday, and obviously it's going to be a hell of a game, competitive game. I'm glad we finally got a chance to link up that our 2 teams have played, and it's been a pleasure having you on tonight. And good luck this Sunday.
Thank you, man. Thanks for inviting me. This was great. Good luck to the 49ers. This is definitely going to be a game won in the trenches.
Absolutely. And what was your score prediction again?
24-20.
Okay, so Bengals Report has the Bengals winning 24-20. I've got the Niners winning, I think it was 31-27. I think it's going to be a really, really close game. And I can't wait for Sunday. But I appreciate you coming on to the stream, man. Hopefully you have a good rest of your weekend. And I can't wait for the game, man. But you have a good rest of your night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Absolutely,
man. You have a good night. All right. So that was Bengals Report 18. He represents the Cincinnati Bengals well. Very informative. I'm looking forward to the game on Sunday. It's going to be a great game. And I think it's, obviously we've got injury issues on the 49er side of things. Debo didn't practice today. Elijah Mitchell didn't practice today. I would be surprised if either one of those players played. So that means our, other offensive players will have to step up. Kittle, I think he's going to have a similar game. Ayuk, Jennings, Travis Benjamin, Trent Sherfield. And then also Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to have to step up. I would imagine he would be getting the bulk of the carries if Mitchell can't go. And Cincinnati has a top 5 run D, so it's going to be it's going to be a very, very tough game on Sunday. But it'll be an exciting game. I haven't really seen much of the Bengals play, but they have a talented offense, a young offense with their wide receivers, running back, and their defense is pretty good. They can get after the quarterback, they can stop the run. So we'll be challenged on both sides of the ball. Make no mistake about it. J.R. Meadows gives us his prediction for the game. He's got the Niners winning 26-20. All right. And I think the Niners will win as well. Shout out to everyone that was in the chat today. Shout out to Luke Luna. Shout out to Blue True for the donations to J and the Bay. I appreciate it. I will have a pregame live stream, of course, Sunday morning, the day of the game, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully you guys can come through, say, what's good? And, of course, I will have a post-game stream as well. But this is going to be a very competitive game. The Bengals are vying for a playoff spot. The Niners are vying for a playoff spot as well. So I'm sure both teams are going to leave it all on the field. And I can't wait for the game. My score prediction, Luke, I think the Niners will win 31-27. And I think Jimmy's obviously is going to have to play better. This offensive line is going to have to block better. They're going to have their hands full because the Bengals, they are top 5 in sacks. They can get after the quarterback, and it's going to be intriguing matchup. Very intriguing matchup. Andre says, thanks, Jay. I'm going to have to watch again tomorrow morning. Had to help the little Niner fans with their homework. Hey, no problem, Andre. I appreciate you coming through to the stream, man, and hopefully you have a great rest of your night. Absolutely, man. Shout out to you, Andre. Have a great night. Shout out to everyone watching J and Bay Facebook, J and Bay YouTube, J and Bay Twitter. Hopefully everyone has a great night and a great payday Friday tomorrow. Ain't nothing better than a payday Friday. And everyone have a great rest of your night, great weekend. Looking forward to the game. And thanks for watching your boy, J in the Bay. And I will see you guys in the next one. Go Niners.